So when LEGO released the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack on January 1st, 2023, it was definitely met with a lot of fanfare. It was the first battle pack where we got variations and classes of Clone Troopers like the Heavy Clone Trooper, the Specialist, and of course the Officer. It was extremely exciting to see new pieces like the Micro Binoculars. And overall, I think LEGO, and I said this in my review, LEGO did a solid job. It's not perfect, and it isn't exactly the Clone Troopers I would personally want, but they still look good. However, I think we can take these battle packs to the next level. Like many of you in the community, you may have spotted that LEGO admitted waist capes as well as other just general capes on like the pauldron on Clone Troopers, and it was definitely disappointing to see that. They chose to print the waist cape on the Specialist Clone Trooper, which is definitely a strange omission. Especially if we rewind to the past with previous LEGO Star Wars battle packs, you'll see that LEGO does include capes and accessories for Clone Troopers. I specifically remember like the ARC Troopers or the 212th Airborne. Stuff like that is pretty crazy that LEGO decided to admit the waist capes in this new 2023 battle pack. And if I had to make a guess as to why we didn't get any of those accessories in this battle pack, it's either A, probably because LEGO had to cut costs and make the battle pack more cost effective because of inflation, or B, they're trying to hit an even younger audience, maybe the 5 to 8 years old range. Kids that young usually find it frustrating to put capes on, especially if it's their first LEGO Star Wars set. So I can understand that, but I still want capes. So because of that, I think we can make this 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack that much better and upgrade it. So I've got two different versions for you guys. The LEGO Purist version of the Battle Pack, where we're gonna just use previous LEGO elements and capes that have come in LEGO Star Wars sets in the past. So we're just gonna swap different accessories from previous LEGO Star Wars sets and add on to these Clone Troopers. And the other option is using custom made elements. So that's custom waist capes and cloth pieces, as well as custom weaponry. So we're gonna see the custom version of upgrading the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack, as well as the purist only LEGO genuine parts version as well. And I'm gonna let you guys decide what you think is better. So here's the 501st Clone Trooper straight out of the battle pack, just as LEGO intended them, unfortunately with that printed waist cape on the Officer minifigure there. But the redeeming quality with these figures, I feel like in terms of accessories, it's not only the Micro Binoculars, but those printed 1x1 tile backpacks on the heavy Clone Troopers. They look so good. All right, so first off, on the purist side of customization, let's get rid of the sniper rifle that was included with the Specialist. Instead, let's swap it out with a regular rifle with the lightsaber piece on the end. I think that looks far better in my personal opinion. It just has a better overall look to it. After that, with our Officer, of course, we need to add a waist cape here. I think everything else, the blaster and antenna, that all looks good. I just think it needs a waist cape. It really does. So in this case, I'm using the same waist cape as the 212th Airborne used in the Utapau Clone Troopers Battle Pack. Yes, you could swap this out with the black or dark gray version, but those came from Captain Rex and the other more expensive 212th Airborne Clone Trooper, which are very expensive. No matter what you do here, these waist capes are extremely expensive at just $10 a piece, which is insane. Lastly, we have our heavy Clone Troopers, and I actually want to look at LEGO Harry Potter sets to add the first necessary accessory, which is the pouch. That's what's missing on the gunner, and they just made a pouch in dark blue for the Luna Harry Potter minifigure, and it looks so good on the gunner. It doesn't quite line up with the printing, but I think it looks far better. Unfortunately, the side effect of using the dark blue pouch is that you cannot use the 1x1 tile backpack. The next addition is going to be this cloth pauldron piece that you can find on Death Troopers from Rogue One. Unfortunately, this is also a very expensive cape piece at around $6 to $8 a piece, which is just crazy. With the pauldron and dark blue satchel, I think the Heavy Trooper looks so much better. The last thing I want to do is give it a different weapon. I think using the candle piece with the rifle looks good as a DC-15 rifle, but I think you should add the clip piece just to add a secondary holding point for the heavy gunner Clone Trooper. Now, of course, you could switch that out with the Z6 heavy cannon, but in this case, we're going to leave that out. Optionally, if you do want the heavy gunner to use the backpack, you can just remove the dark blue satchel. So here's what both of those versions look like. So overall, the LEGO Purist version of upgrading the 501st Clone Troopers looks solid, but unfortunately comes at a high cost because of those cape pieces. Next, we're going to be going to the third-party custom options of upgrading. First off, I always use Brick Arms to upgrade my weapons, so we're going to use the Brick Arms DC-15 LE. This is the sniper class version of the DC-15, and obviously it looks way better on the Specialist Clone Trooper. For the officer, we're going to use the DC-15 Brick Arms pistol. All of these weapons, by the way, are available on Minifigs for You. Links down in the description. As for a custom waist cape for the officer, I want to mimic exactly what LEGO printed, which is dark blue and dark bluish gray outline on a waist cape, and that's exactly what was made here, and it looks spectacular. It looks way, way better than just a printed cape on the legs. I think this is exactly what fans wanted. Lastly, of course, we have the heavy gunners again, and for this, we are going in a very different direction. We are using cloth to make a pouch, and I've got to give it to Dave from Cape Madness for coming up with this design. It looks fantastic. There's no glue being used here. This is all just folding to make a pouch for the heavy gunner. As for the pauldron, we're also making a custom version of what was the Death Trooper pauldron, but we're scaling it down to about 80% smaller, and it's going to look far more accurate on the heavy clone trooper. By using a smaller pauldron, it also fits just perfectly with the 1x1 tile backpack, and it looks exceptional with that cloth-made pouch. Of course, we're going to add more Brick Arms here with the DC-15 rifle. Again, you could switch this out with the Z6 cannon, but man, I think this is like the ultimate custom heavy gunner right here. If you're using the LEGO figure, this looks fantastic. Now, the capes that I showed here will be available on Minifigs for You for sale with the link down in the description. So there you have it, 2 different ways to upgrade your 501st Clone Troopers. Whether it's the purest version of just switching out the weapons and adding some LEGO-made capes, or going with the custom version, adding Brick Arms weapons and custom-made waist capes, pauldrons, and pouches. You could go either way. I think both look really good in their own unique way. Of course, with going the LEGO way, it looks a little bit more official, a little bit more what we could have gotten from LEGO, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. I'd say the biggest difference is definitely with the heavy gunners between the custom and LEGO version. Let me know what you think is better. I'm really curious to see what you guys say down in the comments below. As for the officer, LEGO doesn't make a dark blue waist cape, so you'd have to use one of the other colors. I obviously think the custom one works a lot better, but the LEGO version still does look good. I really do think a game changer is this pouch design for the heavy gunner. It just is unrivaled by what you could make with LEGO. So what do you guys think down in the comments below? Do you like the custom version of upgrading the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack, or do you like the more LEGO official purist version? To be honest, going with the custom elements is going to be far cheaper. Again, this upgrade pack is going to be available on Minifigs for You. The link is down in the description if you want to purchase that. If you go the LEGO route, either A, I hope you have these pieces on hand. You've been a long-term LEGO Star Wars collector, so you already have these pieces that you can just swap in and out. I personally wouldn't recommend going on Bricklink, spending, $10, $20, $30 on old LEGO capes like the pauldron and waist capes. They're just so expensive now because of the price of older Clone Troopers and accessories going super high now. But if you're on a budget, I think changing out the weapons and adding that dark blue pouch definitely enhances the Clone Troopers for a very cheap price of probably just a couple dollars, if not like $1 or $2. So definitely the cheapest option is going with the purest version without any extra capes. If you add the capes, it's actually going to be far more money than buying the third-party custom version from Minifigs for You. I personally like the Minifigs for You version. I'm probably biased saying that, but I do legitimately think it looks the most accurate, and that was the set goal with making this, is making it as accurate as possible. I've always used Brick Arms in all of my LEGO mocks and creations, so I've always been switching out the LEGO weaponry for the last 10 years. So this is nothing new to me, and this is what I personally prefer. It's up to you guys which way you want to go to upgrade your 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. Links are down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this video. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.